Hello, you very much. You can imagine it's there. Welcome back, everybody. Hi. There it is. See? Welcome back to Bandwidth and Banter. I believe we're on episode 118 now. Super stoked. Can't wait. B&B back in the house again. Speaking of, we have our special return guest tonight. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. Don't forget to go check out the guest that we had on last week. Really interesting fellow, the Tin Man. So go check him out and check out our video on the YouTubes. But this is always a treat having our return episodes because they're some of our favorite people that we got to meet on B&B. And, you know, it's not like we're playing favorites. We love everyone who comes on the show, but some folks just stand out, whether it's their, their energy, their vibe, or their warmth, or all of the above. This person has all of those in spades, and that's why we were super happy that he was available to come back on the show. And without further ado, let's have SethTheHex back on the show once more. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. Hello.
Absolutely.
You bet. Please reintroduce yourself and share something that you would like to share with everybody.
Hi, I'm Seth. I do dumb things on the internet. I stream every day, which is, I think, the dumbest thing I've done on the internet. I've done that for over a year and a half now, and I said it was a month at first, and I'm gonna keep going. There's no stopping that. And beyond that, I try to. I've gone through a lot in my life as a journey, and I try to make everything an easy place for people, not just streaming, but like everywhere I go. I want to make sure that people are comfortable and safe and sound. And if that means having to kick out the occasional troublemaker, so be it. And that's what I want. I just want people to have fun and to be safe and cool. Yeah, that's it.
Right on. That's
Beautiful.
and you're helping to make that happen just by your way of being, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
So
Tell
it's
us
time
more.
for us to get into some really more interesting, in-depth questions than last time, and looking forward to it. I'm letting Druid run with the ball, starting off today.
Tell us what's new in the realm of Seth and mangoes. What's going on? What's new?
Well, a lot has happened since last year.
Yeah.
I so I I'm 37. I want to preface this with age and saying that I had a time in my life where I thought I'm gonna have it all sorted out when I'm 30. I'm gonna know who I am. I'm gonna know what I'm doing. I'm gonna have a job. I'm gonna have everything. That didn't turn out to be the way it was. That was foolish hopes. And I'm still discovering a lot about myself. And the last year, I've gone through a lot. I've met so many cool people. You already mentioned the mangoes, who are some of my favorite people on the planet. Just having met them and having met other people who share the values that what I was just talking about. I want to make sure that everyone is safe and comfortable and has a place to be and come unwind. And I love having met all those people and been invited into the group. So that is really cool. Seeing like-minded people and just knowing, A, these people are cool, and B, if I have something that I'm thinking, I probably am aligned with all these people as well in this way of thinking. And then for myself, oh boy, there's so much I can talk about.
Go for it.
Because listen, how long do we have?
Got an hour and a half.
There you go. So the last year, I've gone through a little bit of a discovery phase where I've always had this in myself. Where I've talked about this extensively on streams, and the way I perceive myself, the way I think about myself, I've always felt like this is who I am, and this is who people want me to be. Masking, right? You have to pretend to be someone else because people have some sort of expectations of you. And through talking about this on stream and with other people, and just going on a little discovery journey, I found out like, hey, yeah, maybe there is more that feels that needs to be discovered. So the last year I've come out as non-binary, which has been weird because I don't feel like anything has changed.
Yeah.
Because I'm me, right? But having this little like, oh, that explains so much. There's people like me who also feel this way or think this way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been a lot happening, and I think there's still a lot changing always because you never know, right? Like I said, I thought I would have it all figured out by 30, and I still don't. And now I've accepted I'm not gonna have it all figured out ever because you can't.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My Nana is still calling me and talking to me. She's like, I'm 79 and I just learned blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let's go. Let's go. So,
Yep.
fantastic.
And in the dynamic, ever changing, ever evolving universe, that's the way it'll always be.
Right?
Right on. Thank you for a poignant response to that question. Thank you. So on that note, in that same line of thinking, what has been the highlight of this last year and or your biggest success story?
Well, besides what I just talked about, I've again this the changes, right? Like the growing. I can mention so many things honestly, and I feel like I missed them all. But the thing that I think is a big success story is finding my groove after what is it, 4 years of streaming almost, and going, okay, this is what I like. Because when I started streaming, I was just, I'm gonna play video games and I'm gonna have people watch on the internet. And that's fine. That's cool if that's the kind of stream you want to do, and that's the kind of stream I like to watch as well. But I came into Twitch with a whole lot of knowledge about how Twitch should work because I watch other streamers and I took that into my streams. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Having a baseline, having knowledge that other people use. But over the past year, specifically, I've gotten this is what I want to do with my streams, right? Like knowing the direction I want to go. And this might change in a year, right? But I think one of the bigger success stories of the last year is me. I play a lot of indie games. I love indie games. I love finding a game that no one's heard of, or when you go onto Steam and you see this game has had 50 reviews and no one is talking about it. I love those kind of games, and then finding one that's fun and having other people also go, "Hey, this game is fun. I missed that. I'm gonna, wishlist it or buy it or check out the developer." That's what I want to do. So I've actually started working on making my own little indie showcase where I want to do a little highlight of indie games that I've found or seen that are coming up. So I'm working on that, and I'm very excited for that.
I have an indie game recommendation.
Go on.
It's called Marsh.
Have you? I think you've mentioned this to me before.
Well, the thing is, the creator popped in my chat one day, and I discovered it. And it's a very fun game that I'm terrible at.
I can recommend somebody who might be educational, inspirational to you, who is I'm sorry. I interrupted you, Druid. I thought you were done. My bad. Go ahead.
One of the achievements is you can get my bangs. That's why I keep recommending it to people.
Okay. It's already on my wish
She's
list.
biased, of course.
You've sold me on it.
I don't blame her. I would be too. So there's a YouTuber I like to watch who he pretty much rules the roost of the niche of indie games reviews on YouTube. You might have heard of him, Splattercat Gaming. He's also a Twitch streamer, but primarily YouTube. And I think that's still an emerging market, right? Because there's not a lot of YouTubers who do that. And I still think that I think you're in an area that is ripe for more people to get in and do kind of what he's doing, and you would be perfect for it. So I applaud 100% and approve. Yeah.
That's actually funny that you mentioned that, because that's one of the journeys I went on recently where, you get YouTube recommendations just by watching videos. And I got into this YouTube circle where I started getting recommended all kinds of like smaller channels who talk about indie games. And finding channels was like not just talking about indie games, but they're very specific to, I only talk about roguelike deck builders, or I only talk about turn-based tactics. And I found a channel the other day where literally someone was using video games to teach life lessons. And I went, this is amazing. Why has no one done that before? How you can use Slay the Spire to learn how to say no? And I went, that's great.
That is awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of creativity and a lot of potential out there as well, like you said. So I
Mhm.
love being in that sphere and seeing
Mhm.
all the people at work there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mad Morph is another one. Like when I'm like just going through Instagram, and then he'll just be like, "Here's a cute little indie game, blah blah blah," and I'm just like, "Oh, cool!" Slap that on my ever growing wish list on Steam. But yeah, we need that. We need more shout outs to the indie developers.
Yeah, and those folks who highlight them. We actually, it's interesting. We actually tried to get Splattercat Gaming on Bandwidth and Banter, but he was one of the few big folks who got back to us. He said he doesn't do interviews or collabs. That's just not his thing. So we respected the hell out of him. The fact that he actually responded was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
so amazing. Seth, what has been your biggest struggle this year?
Time.
Yes.
Time. Juggling stream work. If you look at it from what do I do every day, there's already so much time that you have to spend. I have to work. I have to make food. I have to do all these things, and finding the time to actually be yourself for a little, do things for you. Um, there were moments where there was a little bit of like, okay, I don't have to go to the gym this week, and that turns into I don't have to go to the gym this month. I don't have to go to the gym this, um, and kind of reorienting where I want to spend the time and what I think is important, because it's really easy to get into like the I'm watching YouTube videos doom spiral, or like watching Instagram reels or TikToks. It's so easy to just sit there and not do anything and then go, well, I've sat there for an hour and now I don't have enough time for this or that. No, make time for things that you prioritize. So I actually have a list of things that I'm like, this is the things I want to do every week. And now I need to do them. And it's not easy, because there's moments where I'm like, okay, groceries took longer than I thought, or I didn't plan this properly, or oh no, this is the scope of this is longer than I thought. So it is still a struggle, but having more time allotted to things is also freeing up more time for other things. Where normally I would be like, well, I have 4 hours to do these things. Instead now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put these on a schedule, I'm gonna do these things. And I have more time left over. That's weird. Where did that come from? Turns out that if you organize and structure things, that you actually end up with more time. How does that work?
Yep.
And
Time.
healthier, because taking time to actually go to the gym and make food, it's different. It's so much of a difference.
Mm-hmm. Making food.
Hmm.
Bane of my existence.
Yeah. So what is your greatest fear?
Ooh. I have big time imposter syndrome, and I still every day think one of these days people are gonna realize that I'm just nothing. And that doesn't just go for online, but also like for real life, for work. I'm like, why am I here? Why am I doing these things? And even though we have tools, because therapy, lots of therapy, we have tools to mitigate all these things. In a moment, it doesn't help. You're still experiencing that feeling, and it's still one of these things where I'm like, one of these days it's just gonna, you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be, something. So it's a struggle. Even though you can look at all the facts, you can look at all the things like, oh, people have been here for you for this long, and hey, you're doing great at your job, and you're getting clients, you're getting return customers. Look at the money you're earning, and it's still like one of these days it's gonna be all over. So
Yeah.
yeah, that sorry people.
Yeah.
It's
The imposter syndrome.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That.
Playing Among Us and getting that little pop-up saying you're an imposter, going like, they found out.
Yes.
So you feel like you're living a real life Among Us every day of your life.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sometimes I just have to vent, in a different way than in the game, but
Yeah.
I have to hide.
Yeah.
Hide in the vent.
The real secret in what I find one of the comforts when you get into that spiral of feeling that way is to realize that everybody else feels the same way. We're all a bunch of imposters, really. None of us are geese. We're all ducks.
The biggest advice that I've gotten, which actually helped me a lot, just by knowing, like, imagine that you're a perfectly normal, average human being. That means that everything you're doing is something someone else is doing as well, right? So if you're having imposter syndrome and you're an average normal human being, everyone else is having imposter syndrome. You're not the only one. So everyone deals with this. Like you said, everyone deals with this. So yeah, no, it definitely helps knowing that I'm not the only one. It sounds weird, but I'm not the only one. It's normal to feel these things, but also there's comfort in there, right? Like that person over there who I'm so afraid is going to realize that I'm not good enough at my job is probably also sitting here thinking I might get fired because someone is going to think I'm not good enough at my job. So we're all going through this. It's a cycle.
Yep. Yep. We're all just trying our bestest. We're just little kids in adult meat suits, just hoping to have just a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. Although there are a few people in the world, obviously, a few in high places who actually are imposters. They shouldn't be there. But that's a different article, different discussion altogether. I'm not even necessarily talking about politics. I'm talking about like maybe, people experience in their corporate job or whatever. They have a middle manager.
Yeah.
It's like, how did he get that job?
Yeah, like seeing people on, in the world saying things or doing things, and you're like, how do you exist? How do you function?
How do words? Ugh. Anyways, Seth, what is it that you value most in a friendship?
Oh, acceptance, and by that I mean, I you're gonna fuck up one way or another. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna do something that the other person isn't gonna like, and it's real easy to then go, well, done, or now I don't like you, or you're gonna let it get in the way, or it's gonna start eroding. The little bit of annoyances. Where so many times it's just talk, communicate, and that's what I want. I want friends to, if I ever do something that you don't like, or if I ever mess up, give me the benefit of the doubt and assume that I didn't mean to be a horrible person in that moment, and ask me, talk to me, or point it out to me, or even be rude about it, right? Like, hey, you were kind of being an asshole.
Yeah.
Stop that. I'd rather have you be blunt and honest with me than have something nag and
Mhm.
feel that negativity to me, because I will do the same thing to you. If I don't like something, I will tell you, and I don't want to have that erosion in me either. I like being friends with you. That's why we're friends. I don't want to lose that. Why would I let myself sabotage that by not telling you something?
Mhm.
And so that's what I want. I want someone who a understands that I'm gonna fuck up and tell me, but also someone where I can be honest and be like, hey, you did something I didn't like. Let's talk about it. Let's be humans.
Mhm. Absolutely. Love
Well
that.
said. Well said. So, name one thing that was harder this year than you thought it would be, and one thing that was easier.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start with the easier. I have some goals that I set out for myself, and this is a stream goal. Where I just wanted to reach out to the publishers and video game developers more, and just be like, hey, I like your game. Can I play it? Can we come to an agreement for playing it on stream? I don't need money for indie games. Okay, I don't want to get paid for indie games. I just want to play your game. And because I've seen small creators. I don't want to shame anyone, by the way. You have to make a living, but I've seen small creators ask money from really small indie games. I'm like, they don't have that money, and if they had that money, they're not going to pay you for that
Mhm.
either, right? They're gonna use that money on someone who has a wider reach. So I made these goals where like I want to reach out to people and I want to talk, and it was so much easier because like just reaching out to people and talking to them gets so many results. Where I had this whole like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and these are the steps I'm gonna do. It's like, okay, no, it turns out you just say hi, I'm Seth, and can we talk? And it's so easy in hindsight, but you just have to go start doing it. And once you get in the flow and you get a couple of successes, you go, oh, it's working. I'm doing something right, or people like what I'm doing. So it's that self-fulfilling circle where I'm like, okay, cool. I've got all these games that I can play, and I've got all these games I can show. And for me, honestly, the biggest high you can give me is wishlisting a game when I'm playing it, because then I go, yes, I did that. I helped. And the thing that I thought was going to be harder was motivation. Or I thought it was going to be easier was motivation, right? It was like, you've been doing this for 4 years almost. You can do this. You can just go here and put in this energy. It's, nothing's changed in the 4 years, but every now and then you run into this hurdle where you feel like you're a little bit stuck, or you're in a little bit of a grind or whatever. And for some reason that hit me, and I was like, why is this an issue now when it's never been an issue? And that's something, I think every streamer is dealing with that every now and then, where you're like, numbers, growth, whatever isn't where it should be. But for some reason that just hit me harder than normal. And that's something I'm dealing with. How do you measure this? Because I don't think you can be the best streamer ever, right? You can be the most well equipped in terms of like gear, camera, lighting, setup, computer. You can have the best person, and no one watches. Like you can literally have all these great people that no one watches. So that's gonna happen. You need to work on that, and you need to like just accept the fact that sometimes it's just gonna be worse than you think or better than you think, and not let that get in the way. But yeah, no, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
And sometimes it's just the struggle of hitting go live after taking a
Yeah.
break. Just hitting go live.
Hmm.
Go live. Buttons right there. You like to hit buttons.
You should do it. You should do it. You should play some RimWorld.
So addicted. It's my crack. I'll play
Yeah.
RimWorld for 6 hours and then get off and then watch RimWorld content.
Wow, you are addicted. You should just hit the go live button while you're playing and just keep playing.
Yeah, do it.
I'll be
Do it
honest with you.
organ
I've been doing the
harvesting
same thing with Urtuk, the game that I played last night on my stream. I've been playing it a lot offline, and I'm like, I could have just gone live after the fact.
Have you ever ended your stream only to continue playing the game you were playing on stream?
Yes.
I love those.
Not very often, but occasionally, yes.
I've done that. I've done that during the 2-week obsessive Minecraft playing. Again, I end stream, go take a quick little snack break, come back, and just keep playing Minecraft for 8 more hours with Bubba.
Yeah, you did do that.
Yep. So
I'm still here, honestly.
It's always this 2-week hyper. It's so true. 2-week hyper focus of.
It's the ADHD cycle. There's some sort of like dopamine drop off after 2 weeks, where it's like, now I'm bored with it, and then you kind of push through, and then you're like, now I hate it and I never want to see it again.
Yep.
And 6 months later you go, Minecraft, it's kind of nice.
New house, new thing. Let's see what's happening on the server.
Yeah.
Every single
Apparently
time.
RimWorld though hasn't had that drop off for you, Druid.
No.
In fact, it's.
Well, the thing is, I have like almost 500 hours in game.
In RimWorld?
In RimWorld.
It's really good. It's really good.
It's a really good. I've only launched the ship one time. The rest where I was just learning how to figure out the game. So I've only launched the ship once. And now I'm playing I'm doing a whole separate run now. So my first run that I actually launched the ship, I did the Mechanor. So I was like had like robots and stuff I was in control of. Now I am doing a drug empire. As one does.
Yep.
And, Pretty great.
Yeah, I've only launched the ship once, and I just make new colonies. I'm like, okay, I did what I want to do. I don't need to launch the ship. I want more. I want new ones.
Yep, it's so good. And they have so many
Yeah.
it's a great game.
There's a multiplayer mod that
We've done it. We've done it. So I have a multiplayer run that I'm doing with Bubba, and then a separate one that I'm doing with Whiteseer for their
They
YouTube
tried to do the
channels.
stream together, but that was a bit too much.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I can't like if I'm not streaming and they're streaming, I'm better at it. I can't have too many things. I cannot have my chat and Rimworld and somebody else. It's
yeah.
just too much on. It's too much.
Have you found the Twitch integration mod yet?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. There's so many mods. I cannot wait to download the vanilla Rimworld expanded mod list one day. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I love mods.
Yeah.
How you feel about indie games is how I probably feel about mods and mod creators. I love them. I love mod makers. I love you. Love you so much.
My favorite thing is a video game just coming out and there's already a whole modding community for it where like I didn't like this one thing and I fixed it and I went, okay, that's kind of fun. You
that
did it.
happened with Inzoi. Like
Yeah.
literally the day it dropped on early access, like I checked Nexus that day, and there was just like a multitude of just like this is how we made it way more optimal now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's the optimizing. Like 3 pages of just optimizing. It's so good.
Can I
Wow.
tell you my favorite Rimworld Inzoi mod that I found?
Yes.
There was a bug in Inzoi where you could hit people with cars and it would ragdoll and die basically, and you could actually it's horrible. You could actually hit kids with it, which is not intended because that's gonna mess with your age rating as a game. So the devs were like, "That's a bug. That's not intended. We patched it out." And people made mods to get that functionality back, and I went, "You're horrible. I like you."
I'm watching a playthrough of Rimworld right now. Actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say it's one of those where you're like, oh, this is a Rimworld playthrough. Okie dokie.
Wow.
We made
I'll
an
send you the
organ
video.
harvesting farm.
A little worse than organ harvesting farm, a little worse than that. And you're just like, this is a Rimworld playthrough. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Seth, if you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, who or what would it be?
Druid's Rimworld mod folder now, honestly.
I have
No.
so many mods. I have so many mods. It's my favorite.
I honestly just struggled with this question when you sent them to me, and I was like, you could be any historical figure. Why wouldn't you want to be a historical figure and right some wrongs or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
But those are boring. Like, I'm sorry, like those are obvious answers. Whereas, like, if I
Mhm.
actually had this power, sure, that's what I would do. But I thought about this, and okay, it's weird. I like comic books. Okay, Quicksilver, the Marvel comic book superhero. It was like the Flash for anyone who doesn't know. He has super speed.
Yeah.
But one of his things that I like about it a lot is that he shows his drawbacks for his power because he can turn it off. He's always fast. So he once described it as like, imagine everyone else moves in slow motion because he's always super speed and he needs to like adjust down. I want to be Quicksilver because I feel like having that like experience where you're just going through 100,000 things. I'm already doing that because of ADHD. I want to channel it. I want to actually be able to utilize it and do something with it.
What a very
Do you,
clever and well thought out response. I love it.
question, Seth. Do you, as someone, when somebody's like talking, and if you know them well, do you like fill in the rest of their sentence before they finish, and you're sitting there going, waiting for them to catch up, and you're just like,
Yeah.
but you have to be nice and you can't interrupt.
Yeah. And funnier than that is when you're wrong and you're like, I know where you're going with this, and you fill in the blanks and you zone out, and then they finish, and you go, oh no, that's not what I thought you were.
That's
I was gonna say you can't be right all the time.
Now I need to ask you awkwardly to repeat yourself and not zone out and be extra focused on
yeah,
everything
and
you're
you're just
saying.
like, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. The ADHD kicked in real bad.
Yeah.
Oops. I
You've had to
apologize.
tell me that many, many times over the years.
There's an episode of Stargate. Have you seen Stargate?
Yeah, Stargate.
Yeah. So Stargate, it's a TV show where they have literally this portal that lets them go to other worlds. That's the premise.
Yeah, it was
And
originally
it's
the
basically
movie.
just-
It was originally a movie in the 90s, and I loved the movie. Watched the series some, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's an episode in the series where two characters get stuck in a time loop, and they're the only ones who are aware. So they're trying to figure it out. And every time it resets, they're the only ones who remember. So they have to then go back to the smart people because they're not the scientists, and they have to bring them up to speed and be like, okay, this is what's happening. We've already been through this. This is what you have. Fill in the blanks. Blah blah blah. And at some point, these characters are basically talking about, the way the loop resets for them at awkward moments. And the character's like, yeah, he was telling me this nerdy thing, and I wasn't actually listening the first time, and I have to pretend every time. And that's me. That's what I have. I wasn't listening the first time, and now I need to ask you to repeat yourself.
And it's not your fault.
Yeah.
My brain
It's me. It's me.
The autocorrect was, or the autofill was not correct. Or the predictive text wasn't correct, and I apologize. I had it tuned into somebody else by accident.
Apparently, I didn't give a duck, but that's not what you said, so I'm sorry.
It's you guys' chat GPT brains has not evolved to the next level yet.
Such a pain. Because my poor husband,
Mhm.
he does have a tendency to talk a little bit on the slower side, especially when he's really excited. He's like crafting his words, and like he'll plan it, all this stuff, and I'm sitting there going, stay focused. Look at him. Watch him. He pay attention. And then all of a sudden, I'll just be like, my brain already wandered off, and he'll just be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I tried so hard."
Being so busy focusing on someone that you're distracting yourself. Like, okay, look at them. Pay attention. Wait, what were they saying?
What are the words? Now what are the words? Oh no! What are the?
Honestly, the way you describe it, guys, it's amazing to me that Druid has been able to do Bandwidth and Banter for so long.
But it's, for me, having just like a slight distraction is good, in the sense where I'm watching chat for questions and stuff, and I'm still able to listen. Like having that, like being able to do that, like, because if I'm focused on focusing, that's when I'm causing all the problems.
I've been shifting with this thing the whole time I've been here, so that's my distraction.
Yep, and then I'm like shifting back and forth and moving. Yep.
So Seth, shifting gears a little bit here, what are some of your goals and plans for this following year?
Well, I already mentioned the indie games and doing more with that, and just making sure that I get to highlight those. And this is for me. Even if no one else jumps on board, I just want to do this, and I want to present this. But besides that, the timing on this was actually really amazing on the invite, because in May I'm doing Onyx Month. I did that last year, the year before. It's I raised money for Kattenbescherming Nederland. It's cat shelter basically. In honor of my past. I actually put on the shirt on purpose this time. It's on. This is made by Tantan, by the way, for anyone curious. But yeah, there'll be merch for sale, and last year I donated all my stream proceeds from the month, so subs, bits, everything goes because I just want to do that. So I want to make that cool. I've got a whole list of cat related games and other things I want to do on stream. So that's the big one that's coming up right now. Like I said, the indie gaming thing is also just, there's so much coming up like in the near future that has me really, really excited. I'm like, okay, this is. Sometimes I'm spinning too many plates when it comes to that. Where I'm like, okay, I didn't actually give enough attention to this one thing that I wanted to do. But there's some stuff in the work about just I want to just present things streamlined because this is what I want to do. I want to play these games, right? I'm not doing this because I'm like, okay, this is where there's money to be made, or this is where there's a market for it. And there is a market for it, right? As you just said, there are definitely holes to be filled in these like content spaces. But I want to do it because I want to do it, and not
Right.
because of the opportunities. Which is it's cool that it aligns, but I want to be able to focus more on things and actually step back in. Okay, I've got a lot of games. I'm gonna start taking in less so that I can give more time to each and properly showcase them rather than okay, I've got 4 games and we got 2 hours. So yeah, there's some changes coming there as well that I'm honestly really excited for, just because that's what I want to do. Pick the best ones out, highlight them, and if anyone ever gives me a key and I I don't want it, it's not your game. It's just because there's so much choice out there, and I'll show your trailer on stream and people can watch anyway.
Love
Awesome.
it. Love it.
Awesome.
All right, final question of the main interview portion. Seth, what do you want people to know about you?
I think I've said most of the things already. I have discovered a lot. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot, but there's still so much to be to learn and to grow. And if you ever want to talk about games or mental health related things, or you want advice, I've had a couple of people who were asking me about ADHD and what it is and what it's like, and then using that information to go, oh, maybe I have something, maybe someone I know has this, right? Like trying to take care of that or discover that. Um, that means the world to me. But I wouldn't have known about me having ADHD if it wasn't for someone else telling me, right? Where it's like, because the way it started for me was one of my friends said, I have ADHD. And I went, oh, but you're not hyper, because that's what I thought it was. And then she told me, no, this is what I have and this is how it presents. And I'm like, oh, I have that. That sounds familiar. I should get
Mhm.
that looked into. So if it wasn't for someone sharing this with me, I wouldn't know. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that I've helped people, and I like to think that I'll be there if someone needs help or has questions. But I also want to learn from other people. So I want to have a conversation with people about anything here, and make sure that we learn and we journey together basically.
Mm-hmm.
And also for games. Like if you know any cool indie games, tell me about them because I want to play them. Um, and I want to show them to you as well because that's just it's fun. There's so
Yeah,
much stuff out there.
there's so many cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Seth, I just adore you. Okay, here, let me post your link.
Oh.
Post your link. Copy.
So,
Yep.
everyone, we're jumping into the open forum part of the interview. This goes for all the folks in chat. You can ask any of us questions, especially Seth, because this is his interview after all. Seth, you're welcome to ask us questions too. The whole point of this is just like we're hanging out in someone's living room on our couches, chatting and BSing. It looks like Nana Alcozy has some questions right off the bat. Nana Alcozy asks, if you had an Easter egg that represents you in a game, what would the Easter egg be, and what game would you want to be included with? That's a
I want it to be
freaking cool
something
question.
subtle.
I think that's one we should all try and answer.
Well, Druid
I
already has
definitely
the
hear
bangs in the
Seth's
game,
answer
so, like,
first,
I would want it to be subtle because sometimes you see an Easter egg and you're instantly aware of the fact that it's an Easter egg and it detracts, and I don't want to be in the spotlight. So, maybe just an NPC with my name would be cool enough. Oh, Nana also said the bangs thing. But honestly, I think the coolest Easter eggs are ones where it's about something about lore, and it's not a direct one where like I know what this Easter egg is, but one where you can be like, oh, that sounds familiar. So one of the things that I say too many times, I think, when I watch a lot of these gaming showcases on stream where new games get revealed or trailers. You get to see world premieres or new updates on games, and I like watching and covering these just as I want to see these anyway, but also I can talk about these things and give my perspective and fill my wish list at the same time. And one of the things that I say all the time is show me the game, because so often we see a trailer and it's someone talking. And to me, that says you don't know, you don't trust your game enough to just show the game.
Right.
And you want to talk over it. And I get it. I get that you're an indie developer. You worked on this game for so long, but please stop talking and show me the game.
Yeah.
And if there's ever an Easter egg of me in any game, I want that to be the Easter egg. Show me the game.
The Easter egg, it's in the trailer. I'm gonna show you the game.
Exactly.
And then it just actually shows you the game.
Yeah. Some talking head appears on camera and someone just pushes them.
And what game would you want it to be?
Oh. I mean, if any of the current indie games that I'm playing, I mean, we talked about Nubby already. I like Nubby a lot. It's a good game. That sounds dirty in hindsight, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna throw this one off. Cthulhu. I would like to be in the game Cthulhu. It's a new game. It's a couch co-op game where it's basically you're digging for treasure in these like Lovecraftian dungeons, and your goal is to get coins and bring them out. It's really fun. If you ever need a co-op game, that's 100% a recommender.
Ooh.
If I can be an Easter egg in that game, I'd be happy.
Very slick. That's awesome. How about you, Druid?
I would want just I think it would be cool to just be like a corpse somewhere in Elder Scrolls 6. If that ever happens. Just dead person, but it has my hair. Or my bangs in Rimworld. Yes, that too. That too. Rimworld. If anybody mods, I love you.
Nice. That's good. I had a feeling you were going to pick some sort of NPC or something in Elder Scrolls 6. I had a feeling you were going to say that, Druid.
I desperately want to be made into a follower mod in Skyrim so bad. I just need somebody that knows how to do that shit.
Yeah.
So would the Druid follower mod talk as much as you, or is there a mute button?
Oh, absolutely.
I think we would put it in where it's like a mute button. You just see the mouth moving and you see the subtitles, but there's no sound.
And it's a little bird, right? That's part of it.
Ooh, no. I was thinking that just like your classic sneak thief just would be, because that's the classic Skyrim.
Yeah. Or like
build.
a little bird.
No, I think it should be a druid.
What, Stormy?
No, that's IRL, not in game.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think it should, the NPC should be a druid, the follower.
Every second the followers around you lose one sanity.
Yeah.
Yes. You slowly go deaf.
So,
how cozy asks.
wait. I haven't answered.
Oh, you didn't? I'm so sorry. I apologize.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
I would like to be a intelligent talking sword in the remastered remake of Arena in the Unreal Engine 5. If they remastered the first Elder Scrolls game in Unreal Engine 5, I would want to be a unique talking sword in that. Somehow that references, it's obviously an Easter egg for me.
I love that. Like, have you played Baldur's Gate 2? Yeah, you have played Baldur's Gate 2, right?
Yeah.
Talking sword.
Yeah. Me and BT finished it all the way through. Mm-hmm. I played all the previous Baldur's Gates back when they were brand new too. So.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean too. With what was it called? Lalakor, I think, the sword that's in the sewers in Baldur's Gate 2, the talking one. Yeah.
That was a badass sword. I used it for quite a while. All right, go ahead, Drew.
Cozy asks question: which game soundtrack best suits your lifestyle?
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna steal from Druid. I like the Rimworld one. The soundtrack for Rimworld is so good because it's so fitting for a lot of things. And then all of a sudden, you're playing this game for just a few hours, just a few. It's okay. I don't have a problem. And then all of a sudden, you realize that you're listening to that one space western track where it kicks in, and you go, "Whoa!"
Yep.
Oh, man, now I want to play the game just for that. That sounds awesome.
It's
The
really good.
soundtrack for Rimworld is fantastic. It is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Phenomenal soundtrack.
Wow. How about you, Druid?
The other
I'm
one would be
curious.
Risk of Rain.
Say that again, Seth?
Oh, I said the other one would be Risk of Rain too. That's so like the music for them.
It's for me, it's a toss up between Rimworld and Skyrim. The Skyrim soundtrack is fantastic too, and I just really enjoy it because I'm just I talk a lot. Skyrim world, please.
Skyrim world, har har har.
There's the medieval overhaul mod for Skyrim too, and it comes with a different storyteller. Pretty cool. I plan on downloading that.
There is a Skyrim world mod as well, by the way.
For Rimworld?
Yeah, that's a Skyrim world mod.
Hold on. My mind's about to get blown here. Rimworld.
Stormy would be an octopus, and I'd be a chef. Wow, that's so mean, Nomi. I'm not surprised. I love you, Nomi. What's the matter?
Your soundtrack be
Yeah, what about you, Stormy?
Oh, me? She specifically says game soundtrack. Okay, I was thinking of movies. Game soundtrack. Man. That's a really tough one. Because there's some really good ones.
I don't know. I guess one now too.
What was that, bud?
I kind of want to know your movie one now.
Oh, the movie one? Well, the first one that comes to mind for the movie one would be the 1977 movie Excalibur, or was it 81? Maybe it was 81. I don't know. It was either 77 or 81.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
You had a feeling it was that? Yeah.
Well, no, I love that movie.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So good. It was my number one favorite movie until The Matrix came out, and now it's my number two favorite movie. But I've watched it. I own it. Watched it so many times. Talked about it on stream many times. Talked about it on B&B more than once. But I guess for games, I would probably say, just because I did play it for 3 years every Thursday night, would be Daggerfall. And it really does have a good soundtrack. That's one of the reasons people came every Thursday, was just to hear me chat with the Daggerfall music going at the same time. So, that's a good question. I'm going to let you keep that one, Druid, because I want to ask a different one myself. What's one place you've always dreamed of going?
The urge to quote Tim Curry from Command & Conquer is so high. I want to see the Northern Lights. I don't care where, but I want to see them clearly and bright, and not the couple of times that I've caught a glimpse of it. So yeah, whatever location as we do that, there's a couple of good spots like Iceland or cruises or whatever, but one of those is on my. It's just so sad that you can't predict that. You can go to whatever location you want, we have a good chance, and then oops, nothing for a week because you were there now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's Svalbard in Norway, which is like, polar circle. It's a little village where you can't actually go outside unless you have like a gun or an armed guard, because it's just polar bears that will attack you. But there's a good chance you get to see the Northern Lights, and that's what I want.
We'll find a little polar bear for it, no big deal.
Look, there might be a polar bear corpse on the ground, but I saw the Northern. That's not worth it. Honestly, that is not worth it. But if we could have not the polar bear corpse and not my corpse on the ground, but I can see the
Mhm.
northern lights, that's what I want.
Yes. Excellent. All right. Complicated question. I know this is going to be tough for you. What are your top 3 favorite indie games that you've played in this last year?
Oh, are we talking 2025 year or is it like just the year?
Within the last year.
Okay.
That includes up
Yeah.
until now. Let's-
Okay, well, this one is a cop out because it is very new on the list, and I normally don't like including new things on lists because I'm always questioning, is this because I'm wooed by the newness? But I really like Blueprints. It's so good. It is such a good puzzle game. It's got a story in there. It's got puzzles that are approachable, but also build out. They start easy the first couple of runs, but they become more and more difficult as you repeat them. There's puzzles in there that I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that wants to play it, but there's been a couple of puzzles in there that made me go, "Oh, now that thing that I saw earlier makes sense," or now this
Mm,
made sense. I went into the house for the very first time because the whole thing is about exploring a house and finding a missing room. And the first time the game started, I saw 2 paintings, and it was an ace of spades and a queen of diamonds. And I went, "That's a tip. That's a hint. That's got to be something. It's got to be something. It's got to be something." And the whole time going, "Okay, 21 blackjack. Where do I approach this?" And then finally realizing what that puzzle is for, and going, "I've walked past this so many times, and now I need to actually go and look for these things." It's so good, and yeah, just the approachability of it, the
mhm,
presentation.
mhm.
It's yeah, no, I love that game.
I'm trying to remember who I was watching play Blueprints, and the art style of the game is really pretty.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so that would probably be one of them.
Mhm.
I do my top 25 every year, or top 10 video games every year, and I always feel like I missed something or I didn't get to do something. I will right or wrong right now. Dig Drill is a game that came out last year, and I didn't play it until this year. The game is as basically what it says. You have to drill down, you have to find ore, you can make better drills so that you can dig deeper and faster. And the way you do that is the ore you find or the resources you find, those are puzzle pieces that you can fit into blueprints. And they give you more power. So it's like, okay, I have this one little area now that I can't fill in, and then you find a new resource and you go, now I can make this, now I can make it better. And just the simplicity where it's you're digging down, you're making better drills, you're getting better resources, you can make better blueprints. Going, it's so simple. It's so simple, and it's $4. Someone made this in their own time, on their own. It's a solo dev, and I've gotten 15 hours out of it, and they charged $4, and I went, that's disgustingly little for how good your game is. Um, so that is definitely another one that I really like.
Mhm.
Um, I can mention too many. I always feel bad when I don't mention them, but another one that I will mention specifically, Grun, it's called Grunn,
Mhm.
and it's made by a Dutch developer. I'm Dutch, for anyone who doesn't know.
Right.
And I'm not normally not very patriotic, or I normally don't care about, it's just the place I was born.
Mhm.
But it's so well done. It's a little Outer Worlds-ish in a faster form, where the whole game starts with, you're a gardener, go take care of this lawn. And you have to cut the grass, and you have to cut the hedges, and you have to clean it. But then you start finding little things you can do, and you start finding these little threads you can pull on, where it's like, there's a door there. What if I go there? What if I do this? What if I go through this gate? What if I now go to the cemetery? I can clean up the cemetery, the church, and there's this whole like multiple branching story paths you can take. It's so good, and that game really got its claws in me for quite a while. Or was trying to get like, I normally also don't care about achievements, and at
Mhm.
some point I went, I want to get this achievement, and I tried and I failed. I didn't do it, but just the journey and the fun of doing it.
Mhm.
was so good. For how simple that game is.
I totally just didn't add all 3 of those. My wish list. My wish list
So,
that's 137 items long.
yeah. On this topic of indie games, what did you think of Urtuk that we've talked about before that I was playing last night on my stream? Do you think it's something you're going to pick up and try?
It's currently sitting in my Steam cart, and I will pick it up because that is the kind of games that I like. It's strategy, and you said it earlier, where like I can just spend hours in games like that, and just I don't necessarily care about winning or losing games. I as long as I'm having fun, right? That's the most important one. But I like those games because every time you get that little bit of a okay, I know now I got this or this combination or this little opening up a game just by finding little things or combinations is so fun. Where you're like,
Mm.
yeah, again, pulling on threads in games. So yeah, now I'm picking it up. Also for the price, it's so cheap.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice to catch games like that on a sale. That's very cool.
Yeah, they're charging $3 for it now, and again, and like just looking at it, I go, that's too little.
Yeah, well, I think like I said, like I explained last night in my sort of pseudo review while I was playing it, the interface for the party management is really antiquated and poor, but the interface for actually playing in the tactical maps is great, and it's so much fun. So,
Yeah.
hell yeah. So, next question though. Tell us what you're most grateful in life for.
Ooh. It's gotta sound real corny, because we're here, but Twitch, not the website, not the Amazon part. Go away with
Yeah.
that. But the people on Twitch,
Mm.
the communities, you two included, but just all the people you meet here. And I've talked about this before, and this is so important to me. How often have you made a friend in real life just because you're kind of expected to be friends? You're in the same class as me, you're in the same office as me, and you actually don't really share anything with that person, right? You don't like the same things. You just conveniently gathered up at some point. And on Twitch, you can find people because there's millions of streamers out
Mhm.
there,
Yeah.
and you can find someone who likes the same things you do. And I used to think I was unique for liking horror movies because none of my friends liked horror movies, and I like Alien, I like horror movies, and I like, I like video games. And then going on Twitch and you go, can I curse? Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, of going on
Yeah.
Twitch and going, no, I'm a basic bitch. Everyone likes these things.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yep. No, totally. I'm always just like, you guys really like me for my work persona. Not my like actual self. I don't know if you would actually like me outside of work. Because I have,
Yeah.
we're in customer service. So we have to do this chipper thing. Even though I am chipper, I'm I'm a lot more crass outside of work.
More
And I
crass?
can't
Oh my
do-
God.
Huh?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
That's
didn't
outside
hear
of
what you
work.
said.
I said
You are
more
definitely
crass? Oh my God.
I turned myself down for
You're
work.
don't kid yourself, guys. She's super crass in her streams. You know it.
But I'm talking about like IRL. Like I'm
I know,
agreeing
I'm
with
just-
like the whole
I'm just messing with you.
IRL Druid is chipper, but she really wants to be a wood chipper.
I
That's
do.
just yeah.
I do. I do. I don't want to be forced to be polite to people, but here I am working customer service.
Yeah. Oh, you get so tired from masking in real life where
Mhm.
you sometimes just come home and you go, I had to pretend to be someone who is me, but more normal. It's
I
exhausting.
had to hide the weirdness.
It's like every Nicolas Cage movie ever where I'm just convinced that they cast Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage and just told him, you're an actual vampire. And he goes, okay, cool, I'm a vampire. And then no one ever told him he's not a vampire. And that's what I feel like. It's like, okay, you're SethTheHex pretending to be SethTheHex if he didn't have ADHD.
If he didn't have it. So that's very meta, and I love it. It's like we're role playing who we think other people think that we are.
Yeah.
And that's why Twitch is great. Because I don't have to pretend. I can talk in weird voices and everyone's just like, all right, that's normal.
That's Druid,
Really
yeah.
weird voices. Yeah, you're finally using your real voice.
Yeah, she is the Goblin Queen.
All right. Bunny Slaughter asks, dream blunt rotation.
What?
You know what that means?
I have questions.
I think I know what that means. Is that like
So it's
where you're passing
basically-
around a blunt to two other
Yeah, so,
people?
Like 2 or 3 other people. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
who would you want to sit down and
Share a doobie with.
yeah,
yeah. Who do I want to have in my hippie circle?
yeah.
Oh,
It's a tough one. I like
Narrated
it.
by Naomi.
yes. Yeah. Like there's a couple of people who are like, okay, well, if you're next to me, I can punch you in the face. But I don't think that's the intended effect here. I would love to pick the brain of a physicist on drugs. Like I think you could get some real fun stories about the universe and about stellar formations and stuff like that, and have them explain it to you in the form of like, whoa, man, there's this dust in space, man, and it all clumps together and it becomes a star, man. It becomes really hot, man.
So like
I want
Carl
that. Can we-
Sagan would be one of them then. Right. Okay.
And then I want to throw in, just for my own fun, I want to throw in, I don't want to be mean, but I want to throw in like a like early 20s famous like singer or Hollywood person or something like that, just to have their minds blown as well. Well, they're also stoned out of their mind. They're learning about the universe and they go, whoa. Like who do we have? Can we throw in like Tom Holland or something like that? I don't think Tom Holland specifically is dumb or something like that, but just someone who is like not into that stuff, right? Where you're like,
Yeah.
okay, now you're learning.
Yeah. Now you are learning.
I can imagine that Brad Pitt would be somebody who'd be interesting to get high with. I've never smoked a blunt before, but just because I was really never around it. But I would be under the right circumstances, with the right comfortable people, I would be fine with it. And but it would be interesting to be around someone. The reason I bring up Brad Pitt is because I think he's sort of infamous for an actor who would actually, you know, in between takes and in between days, he would actually get together with the crew and smoke joints.
Yeah, and seeing him do like some of the weird things where someone of his fame and wealth shouldn't be doing that. But hey, I took this role in Deadpool and I'm this invisible guy you see on the screen for 2 seconds. Why
Yeah. He literally, it's just a cameo of his face as it's dying.
not? Yeah.
Okay. So Bunny Slaughter also asked, what's the best, most recent survival crafting game that you've played?
Can I re-ask the question and how it was written?
Sure.
Is it all caps? Best recent survival crafting game.
Thank you, Goblin Druid.
That's a genre I really, really like. So there's so many good ones and so many ones where like this got it streamlined. V Rising is a really good one where that technically released last year. Where it has all the elements I like in a survival crafting game, streamlined and optimized, and it's good and it feels good. But ultimately, it's still a survival crafting game, right? Where it's like, I've played these before. This is just the best one. But of the recent ones, Abiotic Factor is really good, and I think it still doesn't have the attention it deserves. Where I don't know if you've played Half-Life, But imagine you're a scientist in Half-Life as everything is going to hell, literally, and now you have to survive and make your way out of the facility on your own without being the cool guy with the crowbar who gets to bash everything up. You literally make your character, and you're trying to decide what tie fabric you're wearing and what pocket protector do you have. You're a scientist. You're a nerdy scientist trying to survive, and it's so much fun because it gives you that like Half-Life meets survival. So
I was
that
gonna
was
say that
really
sounds just like Half-Life.
yeah, no, it's literally Half-Life, but you're surviving, and I
Wow,
like
what
it.
a
You're
neat
unlocking
idea.
things in the facility. You're like, oh, now we got access to the security room because we managed to open the door. So now we have
Mhm.
shortcuts. We're building a base. We're researching things, and we're making better weapons. It's really good. That's 100%. If you like those kind of games, Abiotic Factor is so good.
Oh, right on. Cool. Um, I sometime this year, if I can get around to it, I have so many games to play. I was wanting to play the Half-Life 2 RTX mix because I actually never played Half-Life 2. It was one I missed from back in the day because I was busy with other things at that time in my life. But I sort of regret not having played it. Is it my turn, Druid?
Yeah,
No,
go
it's
for
your
it. I
turn.
stole your question.
No, it's okay. It's all you. Your go.
Epsilon's asked question: if you had to build the NWO, what streamers would you recruit? I don't know what that means. What is it? Can you elaborate of what NWO is and then answer? Yeah.
So back in 1996, 7, what it was, the wrestling. This is a wrestling related question. The NWO is a group that basically were ex wrestlers that were part of the WWE who jumped over to WCW, which was like a rival brand. And in the
Yes.
beginning, they pretended that they came from WWE and that they were invading, literally. So they were the new world order of wrestling. And
Okay. Yep, I'm
the
remembering
group
now.
the group got super bloated. There was too many people in there, but the original core three, um, that was such a compelling story and so well done. And well, they never let it end, which was what ultimately killed it. But I would have in my NWO. By the way, Epps, I would be Eric Bischoff. Epps will get this question. I would be Eric Bischoff. I would recruit Homie as my Hulk Hogan. And not just because they both start with an H, but I would Homie to be the Hulk Hogan of my NWO because I think Homie would be a really unexpected heel turn for someone who you expect to be really good and always nice, and then all of a sudden, bam, I'm evil now. And he would do it really well, and you'd be afraid of it, afraid of Homie. So Homie would be the Hulk Hogan of my group. Now, if you have Homie in your group, you need to recruit Tantan Tater as well. And I think Hulk Homie, exactly. I'm gonna Photoshop that later, by the way.
Oh, you better send that shit to
Hulk
me. I
Homie,
swear to God.
can't wait to see it. Please share it in my Discord when you do.
If you have Homie, you need Tantan Tater, and I think Tantan would be the Scott Hall, who in WWE basically what his gimmick was. I'm Scarface now, even though he was white and American. He pretended to be Scarface, including accent, going "Hey yo." I think that would be Tantan. Everyone will go crazy just because he comes into screen, and literally his gimmick at some point was he just gets the mic and he goes "Hey yo," and that's all he did. I think Tantan could get the reaction out of people. And for my Kevin Nash, who's basically big guy, who likes to tear his quads because he's too big and doesn't work out enough. Apparently, he skips leg day. Unrelated to that though, but for my big scary enforcer person of the group, so to say, I would pick. Okay, there's two options here, but I think um oh, this is actually more difficult than I thought it would be because I saw the question earlier and I was thinking about it. I think I would pick Ryan, RS25 for anyone who doesn't know. I think Ryan is the right amount of intimidation factor for like years big, tall person, charisma, personality, and also just an amazing streamer who I think should be in a group. So
Beautiful. That's fantastic.
So this
Look,
next
there's only
question
3
from
people,
Epps
okay?
has kind of sort of been answered. It was sort of like some of the questions that we asked, but maybe there's some more nuance in this question than during the regular interview. What are you most proud of this year, either personal or channel goals?
Epps asks.
Yeah, I said that.
I didn't hear you say it. Sorry. I was also
It's okay.
Yeah, I've already mentioned this, but Onyx Month last year was just so good. Just seeing, turning loss into something positive, and seeing people go with it, and actually seeing Onyx merch in the wild on other streams from time to time as well. Makes me just happy to seeing that there's like this little bit of good happened out of one person's tragedy and bad feelings, and channeling those into here is positivity. I like that. Just also from a personal point of view, where you always have this option. Like I can be sad and depressed, and just time for that, and it's definitely okay to feel and experience. But I'm very proud of having had those feelings and going, fuck it, I'm gonna do something good with those.
Hmm.
And again, 10 tater.
Oh. Motko J. Colds asks question, what Photoshop that you made of a streamer are you most proud of?
I'm gonna put it in the little group chat that we have, just so you can also see it. But I've made a lot of Photoshops, and there's a lot of really good ones, but the ones that always comes back to me is Homie Mendel. It is the right level of cursed and the right level of regrets, and every time that clip pops back up, I laugh, and you can now also see it.
So am I understanding this right? You merged Naomi and Howie Mandel?
Yeah.
Oh my God, poor Naomi.
That is hilarious. She literally in chat said, I hope you don't say homie Mandel. And then you're like, oh, homie Mandel.
And then she says, dang it.
So funny.
No.
Tantan asks, while driving, which board game would you pick to describe your personality?
Okay. Purest cop out ever, Nemesis. Because Nemesis is basically, if you ask someone, hey, if I like Alien and I want a board game, but Disney is asking an ungodly amount of money, can you make me an Alien board game? That's what Nemesis is. And it's cooperative. You have to work together. Basically, the whole idea is you wake up on the spaceship. You're in space. You don't know what's happening, and you have to make sure the spaceship is back up and running, and that you're going to Earth. But there's also maybe something on board, and you don't want to deal with that. So you have to watch your noise, because aliens are coming out of the vents, literally. And at the beginning of the game, and it's my favorite part of it, you get 2 objectives. One of them is your personal goal, and the other is like a corporate objective. And when you see the first alien, now you have to pick one of those 2 goals and go, this is the one I'm going to go with. And the personal ones could be like, get back to Earth. That's it. It's simple. So you have to make sure that the ship is set for Earth, and that the engines are working, and they get to go to cryo sleep or the escape pods, and you're fine. But then you have those corporate objectives, and those are like, well, yeah, you make sure that you're infected while you go back to Earth, so that you get an alien back, right? Or player 2 doesn't get to live. And you have to make this decision on the fly, where it's like, okay, I want to work with y'all, but there's a whole lot of aliens around here, and player 2, I don't believe in you right now. So now you pick this objective, and it turns out that the aliens weren't actually that bad, and you dealt with them, and you're like, well, I already picked this mission, and I know you only need one more turn to get to the escape pod, but bye. So that is the mood.
Yep. That's beautiful.
So I have sorry, it's your turn.
I was just gonna say, like, we played the Aliens TTRPG.
That was so much fun. God dang, that was fun.
I'm very excited for the new edition. If I can humble brag flex, I am getting a review copy when it's out, and I've been given one.
Say again. Say again. Say again.
I'm getting a review copy when the Kickstarter is being shipped and stuff like that. I'm on the list of review copies for the new edition.
So
I know a couple people who would totally be up for a 3-shot with you or something.
Oh, yeah. Can I vent real quick?
please.
Sure.
I'm angry. Have you seen the new Alien movie?
I have,
Romulus?
unfortunately.
Yeah. I like it. I really like it.
I liked some of it. It didn't capture the claustrophobic feel of the original at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
So I wrote my own scenario for the Alien role-playing game, and I basically wrote a scenario for a group of people who were sent out to find out what happened to the Nostromo, and Alien Romulus is basically what I wrote, but better, way better. And I'm angry because I can never use that scenario again because everyone will be like, well, you just use Alien Romulus. I
Oh,
can
that's
never
so
again use
lame.
it.
Oh, wow.
I actually from the trailer of Alien Romulus, I went, no, they didn't. That's not the original Alien, and it was. I went, oh no, they used. But they didn't use my idea. Obviously, they didn't. But that was my idea.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I had so much fun on that.
yeah.
And it's awesome. Old Man Garrus is here tonight, so I don't know. He might be lurking now, but he was who we played with, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I might have pulled one in the Alien role-playing game with friends where you have this mechanic where people can be androids, but you don't know. And then when you find out at some point, there's like, oh, big reveal, people are androids. So I set up a scenario where I told someone, hey, you're secretly an android. No one else is allowed to know, blah, blah, blah. And this player knew that they were the android. Except I might have told everyone that about their character, so everyone's an android pretending not to be. So when the first one got revealed, everyone on the table was like, oh, you're an android? Wow.
That's funny.
I got killed by the android.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She had her head smashed in by him.
Yep, murdered. Straight murdered. Just.
She got murked. Yeah. So on that note, one day in the future, and I sure hope that we can get Old Man Garrus in on it. But I've been thinking that in the future, I want to do a mini campaign like what he did with Alien TTRPG. But I want to do. I might use the same mechanics as the Alien TTRPG, or I might use a D20 system. I don't know, but I want it to be a mini campaign of The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be incredibly fun to do. We would need quite a few people for that, and we would need to, but it could be something really cool. So
I'd love that.
There's the seed planted.
I think there's actually a role-playing game for that already, isn't it?
There probably is. Yeah.
Okay, I cannot hold it anymore, guys. I'll be right back.
I knew it. It's all right. So while she's gone, I had another question for you. I'm going back to one of our questions that's in the main interview, but the way we phrase it, we ask person or a thing. But I'd actually like to know if you were to die and come back as a thing, what would it be?
I want to be a gargoyle. Just put me on some sort of old building and let me watch and sit there in perpetuity. Honestly, I think there's something to be seen there. Like assuming I get to experience that as well, just like being an eye, that like this is my spot. I'm looking here. This is what I see. I think there'd be some experiences to be had there. Also over the centuries, just like seeing everything change around you. I live in a kind of old historic city, so I've always wondered like if these buildings could talk, I'd be like, okay, all these things that have happened here, all these, 200 years ago, this was empty, and I was a church tower, and now there's housing around here, and there's a market around here, and there's this technology around here. I think that would be really, really interesting to get to see that as as a perspective.
That'd be
That's a
cool.
great fucking answer. That's awesome. And it encapsulates you, buddy. It's fantastic. Well, we are getting to the point where it's close to wrap up. The time has already flown. Did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask audience and or Druid before I ask the final question of the night?
Are you
And
able
or
to talk
Seth,
about
if you have a question for us. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Druid. While she was.
Are you gonna talk? All right, have you already talked about what games you're gonna be playing for Onyx Month?
No, not yet, but I have a whole list of cat games. Cat Quest 1, 2, 3, Stray. There's a new game that's kind of like Chained Together, but you're a cat and you're trying to get down safely instead of climbing. So there's a whole lot of cat games that I just over the last couple of months have gathered up and been like, okay, these are contenders for streams or whatever. So
Yeah.
there's a whole lot. I've been I've been pointed in the direction of a lot of cat games as well. Where I'm like, okay, yeah. And one that I'm really excited for is Albert Wild, which is it's a detective game, but you're a cat. And I've played a little bit of it because I got the game for free and I had to like stream for 2 hours. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stream for 2 hours. I'm very sorry, but then I'm going to stop because I want to save this for Onyx Month. The trailer for that game had me laughing just because it's presented in this like crime noir thing, but you're also a cat. So it's already ridiculous. And at some point in the trailer, he literally says it like one of those gruffy, smoky detective voices, like, crimes in the city. All 6 of my nipples are tingling. And I went, what the fuck is this? I did not expect that. So the humor in it is already on point. I'm really looking forward to actually finishing this game.
Right
I just
on.
added
Very
it.
cool.
There's in the pictures. There's a dude that's an alligator, and there's ducks.
Yeah, everyone is an animal.
Hey, can you send that to Star Kitty? That sounds like a game that would be totally up her alley. She likes cat games and she likes detective games. So please DM that to Star Kitty in case she's
I got it right here.
still working. So then, last question tonight before we wrap up, my brother. What game character do you think encapsulates you the most? If you could pick one.
Okay. If you haven't played Undertale yet, this is your time to not listen anymore. But I think the main character from Undertale has like the experience of it, not the character itself, but just the experience of it, where you go through your first run of Undertale and you just play it like a regular game, and then midway through or like near the end, you find out like, oh no, that isn't XP, that isn't that LV that you thought was level doesn't stand for level. It's your level of violence, and you've been killing all these people, and you had an out where you didn't have to do this, and then you go, well, oops, I didn't know that. I thought I was playing a normal game. That sounds like me, where I just like rush into something, and then later I go, oh, well, I didn't know that. So yeah, that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Fantastic. Thank you.
Great.
That is perfect.
hope the
Seth, it's
focus
been an
plate is
honor to
happy.
have you on once again. It's so sad that the time has already gone by so quickly.
I had a lot
but-
of fun. Thank you for having me.
Bet.
Yes, thank you.
We can't wait to see you in your stream. Everyone, if you haven't already supported this amazing human being, please do so now.
Get on it.
No, you should support Stormy and Druid first. If you haven't already followed
no,
Stormy,
you.
follow Stormy now.
No, you. I think most of the folks that are in chat, we all support each other, but that's all right. We're here, and there are always going to be some folks in chat that we don't know that are lurking and curious, and that's why we do B&B. So with that, thanks again for coming, and we'll see you later.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Oh my God! Sometimes the time goes by so quick. Like, what the hell? It's not
Don't
fair.
like it.
We had some great questions, and of course, the Mighty Mango Mates came to represent their good friend and teammate. And
Yeah.
It was awesome. Thank you, No Foreign. So just a quick reminder, guys. Next week we won't have B&B or D&D. We will have D&D tomorrow, but we're taking next weekend off because Star Kitty and I are going in person. We're flying out to Washington to hang out with Druid and Extirpate Fate for a weekend, a little more than a weekend. And we're flying out Friday and coming back the following Tuesday.
Can I tell you a big surprise about that, Stormy?
Now? That's so perfect. What?
I got that Sunday off too. So I have both Sunday and Monday covered. So
How did you? Oh my God, that's awesome. How'd you do that?
I was surprised today. I had a coworker message me and go, I could take that day for you.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. That's so cool. We're going to do so much. I can't wait. We can go do some house watching. We can just wander through some houses and check them out, I think.
I can show you the Skittles.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Cool. So I will say that even though we don't have B&B next week, we will have B&B back again the following week. And we have another return guest. The timing, the scheduling just worked out this way.
It worked out
Old
so
Man
good.
Garrus, who we were talking about having done Alien TTRPG with and who's been on Bandwidth and Banter before. It will be his return interview as well.
Fantastic guy.
Yes.
So can't wait to
Just very interesting too. Just like Seth has a lot of great insights and he's got a lot of experience and stuff like that. So can't wait. It's going to be a blast. And that's what that's all we got for tonight. Anything else that you want to add, Druid?
love you guys.
I mouthed it as you were saying it.
I know, I saw it. I saw it out of the corner of my eye.
Fantastic. All right, let's wrap this up with a bow. Thanks for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
And if you're listening to the podcast,
Please rate and review the episode.
we're Bandwidth.
And Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Bye.